1. Quick background. I have coached youth basketball for over 20 years for my local YMCA. I absolutely love it. And I've also been a ref, so dealing with unruly kids and their even worse parents is something I'm quite familiar with. Everyone involved with the youth sports program knows who I am. For the winter season, gym availability is a pain in the ass. Since there are multiple youth organizations with multiple sports going on in gyms, sharing a gym is something that happens frequently. Practices are scheduled back-to-back with different teams, so it's quite common to have a team or two waiting around in the bleachers as the previous time slot finishes up. In this case, I'm on one half of the court with my YMCA team, wearing a t-shirt with a large YMCA logo on it, while another team from a different organization is on the other half of the court. My practice is about 5 minutes from ending, and my team is doing work around the basket, and I'm standing just in front of the hoop, directing their activity. Enter entitled mom and her kid. Apparently waiting in the stands isn't good enough for them, so they head to the baseline on my side of the court. Entitled mom sends her kid onto the floor, in what I assume is an attempt to introduce himself. He's wearing a shirt that has the logo for another organization and wanders up to me, right in the way of the drill I'm trying to run. Hey, our practice is still going on. Please get off the court until we're finished. Kid looks confused and walks off. I go back to coaching. 30 seconds later, entitled mom walks out onto the floor, once again right in the way, and tries to get my attention. Ma'am, I still have 5 minutes left until my practice is over. Please get off the court until then. Entitled mom gives me a dirty look but walks off. I finish with practice and dismiss my team, then head off to the sideline to start collecting my practice gear. Entitled mom has clearly been fuming this whole time, and stomps over to where I'm at. You were very rude to me and my son. You do realize that it's inappropriate and possibly dangerous for you and your son to walk into an ongoing activity like that, right? Also, I'm not your son's coach, I work with the Y. Points to the logo on my shirt, and your team is with another organization.
It doesn't matter, you can't treat me like that.
It so happens that this night is a coaches meeting for the YMCA, right after my practice. I see the youth sports director outside before the meeting begins and say, "Hey, you're probably going to get a call from an angry mom tonight," and tell him the story. He laughs and says, "Oh, that explains the angry message about you we received just a few minutes ago. I think we can safely forget about it." I'm still wondering what planet she's from where it's perfectly okay to interrupt someone else's ongoing activity. 2. So this happens all of the time to me, but one call stood out in particular. I work phone support for a fairly large tech company that has customers that run the gamut from Fortune 500s to mom-and-pop coffee shops. I work support for a fairly advanced product as I'm a network engineer, but occasionally someone finds their way through our phone system from the folks that handle the paperwork support, we'll say. I have no access to any of those systems, nor should I, as it is a separate branch of the company, and firewall between us in terms of access for reasons. Anyhoot. I'll be me and customer will be bad day. Thanks for calling generic tech company name. This is me, how can I help you?
Oh my god, thank you Jeebus, I have been waiting for 3 hours.
Phone queue states 5 minutes, but okay, lady? I'm sorry about the wait. What product are you calling about? I don't recognize generic store number as a customer of one of my products, so I assume she's lost.
I can't run any cards, fix it now.
So it sounds like you're in the wrong part of the company. Let me transfer you over to the team and they'll get you sorted.
No, I will complain all the way up to the owner and get your arse fired if you transfer me. You will help me right now, you dumb fuck.
Ma'am, I will say this only once. Do not swear at or insult me. You have reached Blah Product Support and not Black Product Support. You are in the wrong department.
I want your manager now.
Ma'am, you're in the wrong... So, at this point, I don't even want to get her to the right department, as she will tear a new one into one of our less experienced support personnel, who already have to deal with jerks and asses all day. I put her on hold and talk to my supervisor, then the supervisor of the other department that the call should have gone to. She is still on hold. I transfer to the other supervisor. Now, I was not privy to the conversation, but she indicated that she was lit into by this woman for a good 20 minutes about how rude I was and how I was swearing at her and calling her basically every mean thing on the hidden pages of the dictionary. Then gold struck. The manager told her that the calls would be reviewed if she had a formal complaint, and the employee, me, would be fired if that were found to be true. She was silenced. Part of what that department does for support is very discretionary, on whether the business is graded a pass or fail, and we can make or break a company's adherence to the rules that govern a ton of their operations. Bad Day knows this. Bad Day knows she was being harassing and rude to me, and I was nothing but polite. Super knows this too. Bad Day did not until that time know that the calls were recorded. Her attitude adjusted properly after that tantrum, and we found out she was having the day from hell and was just pissed at the world. The support person who ended up helping her with her review paperwork said that her car had gotten towed because her ex-husband basically stole the car the night before and went on a bender. A customer had damaged her only glass display case, and it would be days before she could get a replacement. And her furnace had gone out sometime in the middle of the night, leaving the house freezing. She was having a really bad day. In the end, she got helped. She apologized for being pissy, though to the support rep and not to me personally, and life goes on. One thing I have learned working in customer service is that you have no idea why a person who is angry is actually angry. I will hang up on your ass if you berate me or swear at me, but being angry, that I get and will let slide. I'm just glad she realized that we could have shut her out of a major part of her business functions if she kept it up. Bad Day Lady's day could have ended much worse. I'm not justifying her behavior towards me. I tend to take people at their worst and give them the benefit of the doubt, and I never harbor ill will. I never will. Call it a character flaw. 3. This happened a couple of months ago. Backstory. I am a youth worker and part of my job involves taking clients to a bowling alley. I do this a few times a week, sometimes more than once a day and usually at odd times. 9 a.m. Monday bowling, anyone? So the place is basically my second office and we have a good relationship with the proprietors. During the quiet hours they only have 2 staff working, one in the office front desk cafe, 3 separate locations by the way, and one behind the scenes. It means that often there's a bit of standing around waiting when the front of house staff member is in a different area. Myself and the other weekday regulars, mostly senior bowlers, are used to it. It actually works well for me because part of what I'm doing here is teaching my clients social skills and coping strategies. So having to occupy yourself and be patient and polite is a good teaching moment. My client and I have finished bowling, and we're sitting at the cafe eating and talking quietly, when a man approaches the unattended cafe and immediately starts huffing and pacing restlessly. I side-eye him and keep talking to the kid. A minute later he comes and looms over our table and says, "Excuse me," in an aggressive tone. Now, I've got my calm, neutral face on, but inside I've started gibbering because 1. I hate confrontation, 2. This guy is actually massive, 3. The kids I work with are the zero to kick your effing teeth in kind, and they often get very protective of their workers, in a sweet but effed up kind of way. So if this guy tries to start something, there's a good chance there will be red and blue flashing lights in my immediate future. "Yes?" I inquired politely, keeping one eye on the kid, one hand on my phone, and a vapid smile on my face.
"How about you do your fracking job?"
He leaned down over the table. His breath was as unpleasant as the rest of him. I was surprised because sitting at a bowling alley eating curly fries with a 15-year-old at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday was my job. And I was doing it well, thank you very much. I was also alarmed because said 15-year-old has become very still and very tense. Not good. I moved back in my seat and resumed the vapid smiling. "Oh, sorry, I don't work here. Sometimes you have to wait a minute for someone to see you and come over, but otherwise maybe try the front desk."
"Well, you're dressed like you farkin' work here."
He leaned over more and he jabbed me, my chest. The staff at this bowling alley wear black trousers and violently orange polo shirts that match the violently orange walls. Awful. I'm glad I don't drink because going in there with a hangover would kill me. I was wearing baggy hippie pants, my purple Manic Pixie Dream Tarantula tee, and a sparkly sequined backpack, and a lanyard with the word staff printed on it. I held up the company ID at the end of my lanyard, which identified me as an employee of the non-profit I worked for. Nope, sorry, I work for Helpful Hellfreezers Community Outreach. We're customers here. Now, if you don't mind, you're being very rude. Me trying to be a role model. Terrified. I smiled my best everything is fine smile to the kid eyeing the cutlery bucket.
Don't talk to me like that, you little bitch. I want 3 beers and some fucking wings.
He actually smacked the table with his hand. I looked over to the main area. Oh goody, he has friends. I leaned back as far as I could. The wall was behind me, tables either side, and him blocking my exit. The kid stood up. Bad. Staff member spotted us and started rushing over. Good. We had a time for a few rounds of I want to speak to your manager, I don't work here though, please let me out, before the actual manager of the bowling alley reached us. He pulled the guy away so I could get up, but dude wants to speak to my manager and won't let up. Manager says, I am the manager here.
You're her manager?
No, she doesn't work here.
I want to speak to your manager now.
At this point I figured, why not? Handed him one of our company business cards and said, ask for Hilda. He turned away to dial the number, and I grabbed the kid and whispered, now watch him make a dick out of himself. Kid laughs and relaxes a bit. Thank fuck. And the 3 of us stand in a row and watch the dipshit call my actual manager and complain that I wouldn't serve him beer and chicken wings. My manager actually took the complaint on an official form and made me sign it when I got back to the office. Meanwhile, dude is banned. The bowling alley gave the kid a huge pile of free arcade tokens in apology, and I was able to get him to give me back the knife he stole before I dropped him home. Wins all round. Edit to add, the complaint my awesome manager wrote was a joke, and is stuck up on the staff notice board. It is written in a tongue-in-cheek way and will absolutely not come back to bite me. We've all enjoyed the running joke. 4. Obligatory not a server right now. I was actually not a server when I witnessed this a few days ago, but everything about this customer just rubbed me the wrong way. The restaurant I was at has been around for a long time, 45 years? It is in Minnesota and started as a typical diner, and has morphed into basically an upscale diner. Serves breakfast all day, has really good lunch and dinner American food. Makes everything from scratch sort of place. Anyway, I'm sitting at a booth, enjoying my drink and meal, when a man and woman, 30s, walk in and sit at a booth next to me. I don't mean to hear what they are saying about things, but the woman used a voice, both when talking to him and the server, that was loud and piercing. Everything seems to start out okay, other than to me she was just a loud person, nothing of note. I shrug that off. As daughter of 2 New Yorkers, maybe she's just loud. Then they go to order. She starts nitpicking every little thing the guy orders.
Really? You're ordering that? Why are you getting potatoes?
Etc. She is basically shrieking these comments at him. He just seems to try to laugh off her comments and finishes. Then she starts to order. She starts off with that she has a very severe dairy allergy. Server instantly tunes in, and I see her make a note. She states that she can't even have anything cooked with butter, and to make sure the cooks don't use it, and make sure the server writes that down. She then orders their breakfast skillet. My boyfriend loves the dish from them, so I know right away it's going to be quite the adaptation. It usually comes with cheese, is cooked with lots of butter, and has hollandaise sauce. The girl repeats her allergy and says,
If anything is cooked with butter, I will know because I will stop breathing. My throat will close up. You will need to call 911.
I can see the server making a huge note on her pad. Okay, so no cheese and no butter.
That's right, and you better make sure of it.
Okay, and no hollandaise sauce too. Jots down.
Oh no, I want that.
Well, a huge part of hollandaise is butter.
Oh, I know, but for some reason it's fine.
Are you sure? The hollandaise is okay.
Yes, I know my allergy. Give me the sauce.
Okay, well, how about I put it on the side instead?
It's fine, but if you want to, whatever. It would be fine on the skillet. It would be better on it.
I felt so bad for this server. You could tell she was struggling with figuring out what to put down. She had already put down don't cook anything with butter at all, 911 allergy, but it was okay for a sauce made of mostly egg and butter. Well, it seemed she, the cook, someone, decided to put the sauce on the skillet and not on the side. When it came out, the lady freaked out.
Why is the sauce not on the side? We agreed it should be on the side.
I'm so sorry, I can take it back and have the cook redo it for you.
It's fine, just go ahead and call 911 now.
It really is okay, we can get that fixed for you with it on the side.
As long as it isn't a big inconvenience for you.
No, not at all. Here, keep the toast while we fix this for you.
Fine, I guess I'll just eat toast while you fix it.
As soon as the server walked away, she was ranting about her not listening to her. The guy was just silent the entire time. 5. So this was a while back with my old company. I was a contractor attached to IT departments for very specific tasks. For this particular one, without going into too much detail, I managed their print services. It's important to point out, I have an IT-colored badge, so it was understandable that there would be some confusion, as people would see me walking around. I take a stroll to one of the remote sites to figure out some solutions to a printing issue. I didn't realize they had changed their door code, so I had to talk to the receptionist, let's call her R. Hi, I'm Rectorall, here to look at some printing issues. Can you buzz me in? R sees my badge, immediately becomes irritated.
Well, it's about time. Give me back my pictures.
What pictures?
You know what I'm talking about. IT took my pictures.
It takes about 5 minutes for me to figure out she's talking about how IT replaced her computer over the weekend, and apparently it had personal pictures on it. Okay, well, you can call the service desk at this number. Gives card with the service desk info, or email them and they might be able to help you out.
I already did call them and they told me they can't help. I'm not letting you leave till you get my pictures back.
Okay, I only do print pictures. I'm not actually an employee of the company. I do know it's company policy not to store personal photos on the computers, though.
I don't care. Fix it!
Can you please just buzz me in so I can fix what I'm here for?
No, I said you're not leaving.
I pick up my phone and call the IT department to get the new door code so I can just get around her. R is now screaming in the background. The guy from IT is laughing because he recognized the voice, and told me they already shredded her hard drive, but it's not my issue to deal with anyway. I punched in the door code and R is furious at this point. She throws a stapler at me as I walk past her desk. Excuse me, did you just throw a stapler at me? You know that's assault.
Well, stealing pictures of my kids is perverted. That's illegal too.
For the last time, I'm not your IT department. You need to call them. Supervisor comes over at this point. We talk in the corner for a couple of minutes. R has switched to sobbing, and some of the girls in the office are comforting her and glaring at me. I explain the situation. Supervisor goes and talks to R and she comes back.
You know it's fireable to steal someone's personal photos.
My jaw drops. Okay, I'm leaving. You can call IT supervisor and explain to him why you're not going to be able to print.
Wait, what?
I have nothing to do with her, points out the receptionist. As I explained, I'm an IT contractor here to assist with printing services. I'll be back when IT supervisor gives me the all clear to come back.
What about her pictures?
At this point, the supervisor is getting irritated. More office women are whispering and glaring at me. I just leave. R tries to block my way out, but I move quick enough to get to the lobby. Have a nice day. I'll be back. Smiles and waves. Get back to IT department, explain the situation to supervisor. He laughs and explains he got the CTO involved and did a written warning to the whole department on using work computers to store personal photos. I end up going back a week later to finally fix our printing issue. No one looks me in the eye or even talks to me. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Idiots in the Wild, number 7. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Okay, let's see, this video goes up on Tuesday, it should go up about 7, so I'm probably going to be streaming tonight, somewhere between, say 8 and 10. I'm not sure at which time I'll start. I'll have a few errands to run, but I'll be back and get myself nice and comfy, and then we'll stream for a couple hours together. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Hopefully it goes a little better than the last one I did, because there were some technical issues in the middle of it. The sound went out, I don't know what caused it. And I think I gave somebody a telling off for something. I can't even remember what it was. But I'll put up I'll schedule it for at least 2 hours before I actually start it, just so folks have time to see that it's coming up if they want to join in. And I'm also thinking, I'm always thinking about things I can do on the streams to improve them. I usually just kind of mess about in Photoshop while chatting to you guys, but we might at some point get people on. If there's something that people want to discuss with me directly, we can try that, and we'll see how it works. But not this week, though. Okay, with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.